Hi, I'm Rawrist, a sad elderly woman, and I'm going to talk about episode 2. So if you haven't seen it yet, after the roar of the dinosaur for Rawrist, you know, rar means I love you in dinosaur, and ist is I talk about things I love. I know, I'm just so delightfully clever. I'm going to be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it. It's better than the first episode, in my opinion. And that's all that matters, because this is my channel. Okay, I need to get this off my chest. I have to say this first. I love that John Walker is this exceptional human being, and he doesn't have tons of money. He's not a traditional superhero. He doesn't have the super soldier serum. He's just this dude that works really hard and wants to help people. And then people are talking to me about this show and how much they hate him as Captain America, and I just love it. I just think it just illustrates so much where we're at as a society. That every time someone's doing good, we shit on them. Or, they're white knighting, or they're a simp, or they're a soy boy. Like, it's so, and I get accused of it too. If I'm like, hey, here's the other side, maybe why you shouldn't be giving death threats to an elderly man. I'm told I'm white knighting. So I love it, because it's like the MCU just holds a mirror up to our fucked up world that we live in. And then, those same people are like, why is the world so awful, and why are people so terrible? Because you come at them when they're good people, and you accuse them of being fake or virtue signaling or, anything to tear them down. You fucking goofy idiot. Episode 2, way better than episode 1. I love now that Bucky and Sam are together. They are very cute. I know I was bitching about how I really don't like the strict cop that goes by all the rules and then the wild card cop. It's just not my thing. But for some reason, in a fantasy series, a superhero series, it's doing it for me so far. So I guess I should maybe hold off bitching until I see what it's like, but I never learned my lesson. If I'm this old and I'm still a raging cunt, it's game over. I'm sorry. But seriously, Sam and Bucky's banter was so beautiful. I loved it so much. The ribbing and all that just delighted my soul and made me smile. I actually rewound. We don't rewind anymore. We hit the 10 second, whatever, fuck you. I just kept going back and rewatching scenes of their banter because I loved it so freaking much. Erin Kellyman, she played Enfys Nest in Solo, a Star Wars story. And I absolutely love her. We need more freckled redheads just being total bamps on screen. I love seeing her in anything, and the fact that she's one of the big bads is so cool. And the fact that they explained it, they have a version of the super soldier serum, and then we get to see Isaiah, who was another super soldier, and I can't wait for it to come out more and more, the different governments that were experimenting or giving different variations. We know Isaiah had before Captain America, perhaps before it was perfected. So it's gonna be fun to see all these different super soldier serums and the different people out there that got it and dealing with them. Now, not to spoil too much, but I know we are getting Young Avengers, so if you notice, Isaiah's grandchild had a name similar to a person that becomes a Young Avenger, so I'd be interested to see if that's what they're leading into. I think that would be pretty amazing. I'm not necessarily for teenage shit. It's not really my area anymore, which is why I have a hard time with CW. It feels very geared towards teenagers, and I'm like 40 years beyond that, so it's difficult for me. So I'm hoping I'll watch Young Avengers. I guess hope isn't the right word. I know I probably won't be as into it, but not everything is about me, which is very shocking, I know. Thank God. I would give anything, I mean anything, to have a flashback to Isaiah beating the fuck out of Bucky, just taking part of his arm. I think that would be amazing. Please give us that flashback. I know they talked extensively about giving us more time with the villains of this story, so the Flag Smashers, and making us understand them a bit better, and I actually am for that. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh yay, villains are always right, though. I mean, honestly, Thanos was right. His plan was stupid, but his thinking was right. But you're understanding where they're coming from and seeing the main person, just how sad she is, and she cares, and she's just not this mustache twirling bad guy who just wants this power and wants to see the world a certain way because no, she saw the world a certain way. They saw the world a certain way, saw the way it could be, saw one people, and they want to go back to that. They don't want to go back to the bullshit that happened before Thanos did his snap. No, I'm not saying what they're doing is necessarily right, but you understand it, and I enjoy that more when you can empathize with the people that are supposed to be the antagonists and see where they're coming from and go, okay, yeah, you have a point, maybe how you're going about it is a bit shitty, but you definitely have a point, and you have a lot of heart in it, and it's not from some twisted darkness. I kind of don't get enough of Sam ribbing Bucky. I mean, Steve and Bucky were good friends, and they ribbed each other, but in such a playful, we're brothers sort of way, where Sam and Bucky, well, I guess Sam and Bucky are like brothers, but it's more like brothers that are in fucking competition for everything and just hate each other, where Steve and Bucky were just besties as brothers. Besties that became brothers. That's probably a better way of saying that. You got your ass kicked by a little girl. Man. The action scenes so far, I've really enjoyed them, especially in the first episode with the opening of Sam just being a BAMF, but seeing them work together. You may notice, and I'm sure you have, and I'm just repeating, your amazing inner thoughts, but you notice Bucky is a lot less dangerous now as he's pulling away from his Winter Soldier identity, so he's not as ruthless as we saw him previously when he would just wreck people's days. So it's interesting too to see him fighting as a more tamed version of himself as he's seeking redemption and to distance himself from the past and what he was. And I'm sure he fears a slippery slope of going back to that. Also has to be really painful for him to talk to Zemo and to go back and be around members of Hydra, and how much that probably twists him up inside. I'm fine with seeing Zemo. I feel like he's another villain that you could relate to, but I feel like not as much as other ones. Personally, you may be like a Zemo butt boy. I don't know, which is fine if you are. You can be butt boys with anyone. It's fine. It's whatever. It's your life. Just use protection and be safe. Emotionally and physically. The therapy session was just pure gold with them staring each other's eyes, and I wouldn't say teared up, but I would say perhaps there was moisture in my eyes when Bucky said, if Steve was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me, and Bucky's probably clinging to that, and that has to be so hard that Steve is no longer around, and Bucky has to find himself on his own, and he's very displaced in time as well. I gotta wonder, is Zemo going to distort what they're doing with the Flag Smashers? He's gonna get in there and do chaos, but also Zemo doesn't really like super soldiers. He kind of wants to get rid of all of that, or so that's what we've been led to believe. So it's curious, is he going to be in direct opposition of them because they have the serum and he wants a world without all of that? I don't know if he's going to join them and twist them, or if he's going to be directly against them. I guess we'll see. Or maybe the showrunner and the writers were lying to us, and he's gonna just like inject himself with all this super soldier serum and Hulk out. Which would be fine, cool, neat. I kind of really like the corny Captain America, John Walker, and his pal, his sidekick, helping him along, and just they're so happy, and then especially when he rescues his friend and he like smiles, and I think it's cute. I really like John Walker, and I like him as Captain America, not the Captain America, but as a Captain America, and going around and trying to keep that hope. Now I'd like it better if Sam was Captain America or Bucky was Captain America, but I'm sure we're getting around to that. I have to imagine by the title of this series, both sides have to come to terms with who they are. So Sam will realize, okay, I am Captain America, and fully embrace becoming Captain America by the end of this series. And Bucky will accept, I'm the Winter Soldier. I can't run from it, I can't hide from it, I need to be who I am, but do things to better the world. So in the end, they assume those identities, even though right now they're pushing away from them. At least that's my interpretation. I could be completely wrong. Honestly, I don't give a shit if I am. John Walker, he's such a white knight. Like, subscribe, and get the fuck out of here.